10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 0.
Vasily Alexiev. He wants this. He is a man with pride, a great competitor. He's over the bar.
He's got it up there. He has to get stationary. Vasily Alexiev has broken the world record. He's broken it.
Weightlifting is more of a speed-related activity. It requires some strength, but there's a lot more technique. It's probably the fastest dying sport in America. We have, I think, about 2,000 or 3,000 registered Olympic lifters, and we've got about 60,000 to 70,000 powerlifters.
Vasily Alexiev.
Briefly, powerlifting is comprised of 3 different lifts that will test your strength in a variety of different ways. The first lift is the squat, and that's a deep knee bend with a bar on your back. What is most important is hip strength, lower back strength, and leg strength. There's a lot of different equipment that one will use when they are in competition during the squat. There's something called a super suit, and that's a one-piece lifting outfit that gives you support in the bottom of the squat. It allows you to use more weight because it gives you more of a spring effect, and it prevents injury. The bench press is the true test of upper body strength. When you are lying on the bench, one will get a lift off, and the bar will be brought down to the chest. The head judge will then give the signal to press, which is a momentary pause when the bar is motionless. And the lifter will then push the weight back to arms extension and wait for the command to rack it. The bench press attire and equipment consists of a bench press shirt, which is similar to the super suit in that it gives you more support, and it allows you to lift more weight again with a spring type of mechanism, and will prevent injuries as well. The deadlift is the ultimate test of lower back strength. There isn't really much equipment involved. One can choose to either use a super suit or a larger lifting suit, just again to give you support. My parents always supported me, and when I was about 8 years old, my father bought me a set of sand weights and a chart. It was like a Lou Ferrigno chart, or one of the bodybuilders back then. And I just, again, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I was always involved with some sort of sport activity, either baseball or soccer, wrestling, football, and it was more of an adjunct. And at the time, I really didn't know much about it. And I just, again, I felt that it was something different, that it was an individual type of activity. And back then, not many people were doing it. When I was about 11 years old, I was training in one of the local gyms. It was in Milford, New Jersey. And some of the people that were in the gym thought it was kind of odd that an 11-year-old person was working out. So they kind of took me under their wing. And they needed an extra person for one of their competitions in the lighter weight classes. I weighed about, I think I weighed about 100 pounds at the time. And I remember having to tell them I was 14 because they didn't allow anyone to compete, under the age of 14 in the amateur athletic union.
So my first competition was the state championships, and it was a bench press competition, actually, now I'm recalling. And I did very well. I think I benched 180 pounds. It was like a district record or something at 11 years old. So that's how it all started.
I started weight training when I was about 13 years old. A cousin of mine had a boyfriend who was into weightlifting, and he came over to my house. I had all the bars and equipment downstairs. I wanted to learn how to use it, so he showed me, and that's basically how I started.
Tom and I went to the same high school. He grew up in Norwood, which is adjacent to the town that I grew up in, which is Harrington Park. He was a year ahead of me, and I always knew that he would, work out.
I was weight training for strength through high school because I wrestled, played soccer, hockey, baseball. So I was always weightlifting, just trying to keep myself strong. And then one day when I was a senior in high school, I was approached by John. He said him and a couple of his friends were going up to a meet in upstate New York, and they wanted a lightweight to lift.
So I drafted him, and at the time I think he was 132 pounds.
We went over to a friend of ours' house, and he basically showed me how to do the 3 lifts, and then 2 days later we were in a meet.
It was a high school competition, and Tom was the only one that could drive, and he took his parents' station wagon, just about killed us on the way up. But we ended up doing pretty well.
I was sore the next day, though, for like 3 or 4 days later. Couldn't walk, couldn't move, nothing. And I swore I'd never do that again. Unfortunately, once I graduated a year ahead of him from high school, he and I, we lost kind of contact when he went to school. I went to school. Sometimes when I would come home on a break, I would see him. We would train together here and there. And then when we were both done with school and he started his business, I ran into him somewhere. He told me, come down, check out my gym. I went over there and boom, we started training again together.
Come on, Tom. Let's go, Tommy. Let's go, Tom. Come on, Tom. Good job.
Tom Ritigliano is one of the most dedicated people I know towards any type of activity. He's very gifted, in terms of his genetics. He's built for the sport. He's tenacious. He's got a great attitude. Never misses any of his training sessions, and very supportive. Not only is he a good training partner, but he's also a good friend and a good person.
All right, it's good to get in here and move the blood around.
We've been working out for it's been about 4 years. We've been training together, and he's really come a long way. He came from not competing to just starting to winning a national championship and a world championship on his first try, which I don't think has happened. It doesn't happen all that often. He's there when I need him, and I like to be able to reciprocate that sort of friendship, and as a training partner, as a friend.
John is very inspirational. He's very motivated. He's very focused. He's the type of person that this is the way it is, and he does it, and that's it. And I have a lot of respect for him. I like him a lot as a friend, and he's just a very big inspiration to me, because I look at him and I see how focused somebody can be, and how like when something means, well, when the sport of powerlifting, weightlifting, bodybuilding, whatever it may be, it means so much to him that his whole life is built around that. And I just think that that's so incredible that somebody can be, that focused, because there'll be times in my life I'll drift away a little bit from powerlifting or from training or anything like that. And I just have a lot of respect for him in that sense.
I own a personal training facility. It's a gym, and we train people on a one-to-one basis, or we train groups of people, or we allow people to come and use our facility. And I've had the business for 7 years.
I am one, not bad. When you're bringing it in, just get to one point. Don't try to get to the point where you're continuing with the elbow. Just bring the elbow straight back to the point.
Well, my involvement in powerlifting and weight training and bodybuilding never was the focus wasn't to try to make it a business. You know, I had other goals as well. You know, throughout the time that I've been training, I've always worked people out. My training partners, I've always been the one that would call the shots and, you know, write the workouts and set the tone for the workout. And, you know, through time, I saw that, you know, people were attracted to this type of workout, and they would ask me to work them and write them programs. And, you know, throughout school, high school, and getting into college, it was a good way to make some money. And the only time I took it seriously was when I got certified. I went to a program in Chicago where they had a certification program, and I saw 180 other people that were interested in the same type of work. And the speakers there were making a good amount of money, and at that point I knew that it was a viable way of making a living.
A typical work day would consist of getting up at 3:30 in the morning and arriving at the gym at about 10 to 5 just to open the gym and get ready. I train 4 days a week, and I will meet a group of 5 or 6 people that are on the same routine as I am, most of them are clients, and we will do our workout program. The 4-day-a-week program consists of different muscle groups, trained over that 4-day period, again focusing on strength, and our power lifts. Keep going, hold this one up now. 3, 2, and 1. From then on, after I train, I will work people on an hourly basis from 6 o'clock, 6:15 a.m., usually till about 1:30 on the hour. Now I got all 10 minutes. Last 5 reps. Then I go for lunch, and I come back at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm there until usually about 8:30 at night.
That's it. 1. 6 more.
So it's quite a long day, but it's worth it. It's very rewarding to work with such a great group of people, and to help people find themselves through exercise.
Excellent.
What I would really like people to understand is that, you know, weight training isn't just for powerlifters or bodybuilders or people that are competitive. There is a routine for everybody. For instance, I've got a gentleman who is 70 years old who comes to the gym. He's been coming for the last 2 years, and it's improved the quality of his life. He's lost 15 pounds. He generally enjoys coming to the gym and being physical, whereas, you know, the most minor types of things like shoveling snow or carrying groceries would become a burden. Now he comes to the gym and he's bench pressing 150 pounds and enjoying it, and it's a good portion of his day. He'll come to the gym and he'll tell me that, you know, he really looks forward to it and that it's changed his life, and that's very important to me. Barbara Powers is a very special lady. Here's a person who 2 years ago lost over 130 pounds. She's never been active in any sort of sport. You know, she just more or less, not to be cruel, existed, never had any goals. And a couple of years ago I was training her husband. I still do. And she came in to watch him work out, and we kind of tricked her into, you know, trying it, and from then on out, the rest is history.
Step more. Going up. Yeah. There you go.
She's one of the best women master powerlifters in the country, and she's dedicated. She'll be in there at 4:50 a.m. We train together 4 days a week, and never complains, puts forward an effort that is motivating and inspirational.
Here's 7.
You know, there's just so many things in your life that you have control over. You know, to be able to compete at a high level and be successful. There are not many things in this world and my life, you know, that I really find that you know you can be very good at, you know, and also get the rewards. You know, I have a pretty heavy competitive instinct, and you know, it seems to be a good avenue for me.
John, let's go.
The effort involved in powerlifting, you know, is rewarding. You know, I think that's another attraction, that when you put forward an effort, there's a return. There are a lot of things that you can do in your life and not actually get a return. The harder you work at something, sometimes it doesn't work your way. I've been fortunate that, and the formula and the approach I've been able to put towards powerlifting, I've been able to do in other areas of my life as well.
Because I owed you for not being here. Right. Thanks.
What appeals to me most about the sport is the constant, I guess, the constant challenge that it presents. You know, always trying to better yourself, always trying to get stronger, always trying to conquer more weight or a higher total or that sort of thing. You know, I'm always looking to challenge myself, and powerlifting is, I guess, the best way I can challenge myself.
Let's go, Tom. Come on. Let's go, bro. Squeeze that bar. Here we go, Tom. Come on, Tom.
What makes it worth the effort is, you know, bench pressing the 500 pounds finally, or finally squatting 700, breaking the barriers that you've set, the different goals, and then achieving them. I guess makes it the most worth it. That and the when you go to a meet, the support of all the other people, and just the feeling that you get in the meet, you know, the rush and everything, that makes it worth it.
Four, come on, three, stay tight, Frank. Three, come on. Two, full character, buddy. One, up.
I don't know where he gets his stamina.
Guys, don't sleep me now. Not time to sleep. Let's go. Let's go. Ready out. Let me smoke over somebody. Let's go. Come on. Here we go.
Go crazy.
Come on. Come on.
For a good period of my career, I used to go back and forth between bodybuilding and powerlifting. And that usually would be counterproductive in the speed that you need when you powerlift. Bodybuilding is more of muscle building, more repetitions, more carving or sculpting motions, where powerlifting you've got to be very specific and you've got to be trained. And I just started to actually realize that over the last 2 years. Some of the techniques that I've been using, you know, some overload training methods and heavier training methods, and focusing on the muscles that are required to get a heavy bench press, like your triceps. That's where I've really started to see big improvement.
This is good. Come back and take that, John.
We've locked in on a certain training method that was made popular by a gentleman named Lee Simmons. He showed us a lot of techniques that, for instance, we do a lot of speed work, as I was saying before, and we for some reason, we were neglecting that particular area and focusing more on the strength end, the absolute strength portion of it. But the speed plays a large part. We do an exercise called box squats, which you actually sit down on a box. For the bench press, we do something called board presses, which work, again, your triceps and incorporate just the muscles that you would use. I give my parents a lot of credit. I can say they were heroes in my life and people I looked up to. They gave me the inspiration and the support and never questioned my, you know, I don't know how you want to call it, just I was different, you know, and they never They let me be an individual, and they let me explore what I wanted to do without questioning and always being there. My mother, she traveled to every one, she still does, to my competitions, and she's my #1 fan. And, you know, that's very important to me.
Come on, John. Come on. Come on.
I've never really lacked motivation. One of the things that really, you wake up in the morning is to look forward to something. And, you know, I think the competitions fill that void. I think when you're constantly working towards a goal, it makes it easier to get up and get out of bed. You know, I think that if you don't have a destination, it makes it very difficult to focus, and it becomes easy to become complacent and not really work towards something. You know, every day I do wake up, you know, I do wake up rather early. It's not like I have one focused thing in my mind, powerlifting. You know, there's a lot of other things that go on. And, you know, to try to organize that is a challenge. And that's, you know, what life's all about.
As far as motivation goes, I can motivate myself for pretty much anything except that last damn deadlift. It's always the hardest, you know. You pull the first one off the floor, you pull the second one, you got the total you wanted, and now it's like, I don't even want to deadlift anymore. But as far as motivating myself, it's, I don't have much trouble doing it. I don't need people telling me, come on, you got to get up, you got to do this. I pretty much know what I have to do, and I know what I want to accomplish. On occasion, I'll be at home, and I'll be a little tired and not want to go to the gym, and, you know, I'll kind of start to lose sight of what I'm trying to accomplish here, you know. And then, but as soon as I sit down on the couch and start watching TV or lay down, I say, you know what, I really need to be in the gym right now. And then I remember that, look, I'm training for this or I'm training for that, you know, be it the Nationals or the Worlds or just any meet. And I say, if you lose this, you know, if you don't go today, then, you know, I'm taking a step back instead of a step forward.
Tom and I, we focus on one meet a year, and that's the Nationals. That's the biggest meet. That's the most prestigious meet. And I think that, you know, having that focus and being able to really, you know, put the time and effort towards it, we usually do pretty well. This year's Nationals was somewhat of a disappointment. From a performance aspect, I did the best I've ever done. I was well prepared. I felt good. I felt confident. It just wasn't in the cards. They were very strict in the judging. They were consistent. They were fair, but I wasn't given credit. On the upside, I was able to help my partner Tom achieve his goal, which was to win the Nationals for the second year in a row. And now we're on our way to bigger and better things. We're going to be training for the World Championships, and we hope to do the best that we've ever done.
You always wonder whether or not you can achieve certain things, certain goals that you set, you know. And powerlifting has definitely helped me realize that I can achieve pretty much whatever I wanted to. I had certain things that I wanted to accomplish when I first started out, and I, you know, achieved them pretty relatively easily, you know, with a lot of hard work and really putting my mind to it. And it kind of helped me realize that anything that I wanted to do or anything that I wanted to achieve, I could do just by working hard at it and sticking to it, and kind of not losing sight on the goals that I had set.
A personal best to me is when you are able to see a goal in your mind and be able to productively work towards that goal and give it everything that you've got. And the reward is when you arrive, being able to look back at the journey and appreciate both the outcome and the process.